Hey budgeties, welcome to my YouTube channel. If you are new, my name is Mo. I'm 29, working on me and my husband's financial freedom journey. And if you're returning, hey friend. So in this video, we are going to close out our student loan contributions. So if you don't know, my husband and I, we got some loans, but really I'm the problem because I have a lot of student loans. Not because we took out so much, but more so because of the interest over the years. So what we do every month, at the end of the month, we go ahead and we just go over all the payments we contributed or we gave, and what actually went to paying down the loan, and then what went to interest. Also, if you guys hear some noise in the background, my apartment complex is doing some construction. Lucky me. So if you don't know, your girl is on her journey to 5,500 YouTube subscribers. So if you haven't already, make sure you click that subscribe button. Okay, I'm so grateful for all the subscribers we have. I'm grateful for you guys joining this journey with me. And feel free to comment, talk about your student loans, your payment progress or lack of. I love it when we chat in the comments. Okay, so first things first, this is my student loan planner. I made it for myself in 2020. It's just regular paper. People ask, is this for sale? This is not for sale because it is so specific to me and my student loans. So this is what we are. It's just regular paper, and I got it spiral or binded at Staples. So I don't know, I was just being extra. I tried to do something cute because the idea of student loans made me cry. I'm not gonna lie. When I first started looking at my student loans back in 2020, I wept. Okay, she wept. Okay, so we're gonna do my student loans and then we're gonna do my husband's student loans. We both have student loans. I'm gonna give you guys some updates as well as what my husband and I have decided to do moving forward. I don't have specific numbers, but we're gonna get into it. Okay, before we get into my student loans, let's talk about our debt reduction calculator from last month. So this is from August 31st. So if you don't know, I try to give about 3 of these in 3 different scenarios. So last month we were at $90,011.40, which is pretty dang good because combined all debt with my student loans, my husband's student loans, and then my husband's car loan, we had about $121,000 worth of debt. Now we're down to $90,000. Well, last month we were down to $90,000, which was great progress. My husband was on the save plan where you can pay your money back or whatever, but it is currently in litigation, meaning it's going through court, some lawsuits. So what that means is right now you do not have to pay back those student loans and you are not accruing any interest, which is why when you see my husband's old student loan number 2, it has 0% interest and his payment is $150. That's just how much his payment for that loan once upon a time was, I guess. His first loan we went ahead and paid off, and if we were to give $3,500, we would be done in November 2026. If we were to give $2,500, we would be done November 2027, so that would be a year later. And then if we were to give $3,000, we would be done in April 2027. So this just shows the difference of like the extra payments that we would give and how that contributes to us paying off our student loans. So I'm gonna put this in the back. We're gonna start off with my student loan planner. So I started off with $107,683.18. It's not funny, but it's funny because it's just like, dang, that's a big number. But here we are. So all of my student loans are named. Yes, I'm childish. Again, I try to trivialize it. So, I won't feel intimidated by these big numbers. Like these are a lot of loans, okay? But these loans are consolidated into 2 loans. I decided to do this before I even consolidated it. I kind of feel like I should have just did it with the 2 loans that are consolidated, but here we are because I'm definitely giving more money than these payments because there's interest. So when I first started paying, it was September in 2021. So 22, 23, 24. So that means 3 years now. For 3 years, your girl has been paying her student loans. I love that for me. Okay, so first we had Jerry paid, Stuart Little paid, Hello Kitty paid, Remy the Rat paid, Daffy Duck paid, okay. Bugs Bunny, so the ones in green, my job did give me some money to help pay off my student loans. It was $10,000 before tax. After tax, it was like $8,000 and some change. So all the ones that are in green signifies like what my job gave me. So Garfield paid, and then Winnie the Pooh paid, and a little bit, 1,500 of it came from my job, and then I started paying it back myself. This is 2023. Kung Fu Panda paid, Mickey Mouse paid, Minnie Mouse paid, Don Leno paid, which we just paid off last month. And so now we're into Angry Bird. She's angry. She's angry. Okay. This is where we are now. So Angry Bird. So obviously, I don't know if you noticed, but once all the student loans, it started from small to big. So now we're at 10,000 because we're getting into the thick of it, right? We're getting to the nitty gritty, the end, finally, thank God. So we are starting off with $10,331 for this. And this is a Grad Plus loan for Angry Bird. What actually went towards the loan was $155.71. So what we have left over is 10,000. I hope you guys can see this, $10,175.29. So we're going to be writing in the green Pilot G207 pen. I try to do different colors each time. Am I going to put that there? I don't know. But let's just get into it. We're going to fold you and put you to the side. If you don't know, I do write sideways. I'm so sorry. Okay. So my husband and I get paid twice a month. However, I did 3 contributions, I guess, this month. So let's get into that. So the very first payment was on the 18th. This is when it actually hit. So, you know, there's that. I gave $1,312.48. This is a really big number. So my payment is $197, but I included the $197 to extra and to whatever we put extra. So let's do 1312.48, and then I'm gonna take away 197. So the extra was $1,115.48. So when I add the 197, this is what it comes out to, 1312.48. Okay. You're probably wondering, this is a lot of money. Why are you doing so much money? Previously, my husband and I were splitting all the payments. Like I would take half and he would take half towards student loans. But because he's not gaining any interest, we decided to heavily focus on my student loans. You will see what we put towards his student loans, but I'm just accruing a lot of interest every month through my student loans. And we'll talk about that too. I'll calculate it so you can see what life is looking like. Okay. So on the 18th, we gave $1312.48, and then what went to interest from that was $216.26. You see what I'm saying? That's a lot of freaking money. So $1312.48, and we're gonna subtract $216.26. So now we are only getting a difference of $1,096.22. Okay, $1,096.22. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take that $66,536.79 and we're going to subtract $1,096.22. So that's going to be $65,440.57. Okay. So this is our current balance after that payment for 0.57. Oh, I write too big. Okay, so that's not bad. That's just the first payment. We got a couple more to go. So on the 22nd or the 20th, I got paid from YouTube. Thank you guys so much for watching. All the payments I get from YouTube, I do put towards student loans. So what I get, or me and my husband, whatever, was exactly from what was from YouTube. That was a lot. So the YouTube payment was $141.81. That's what we put towards it. How much interest came out of this was an amount of $44.57. Somebody commented and said, oh my God, like if you're doing an extra payment, no interest should come out of them. In a great life is easy world, I think that's what would happen, but that's not how it works. So they just take whatever accrued between the time of the last payment and the payment that you're giving. So that's what we're dealing with. So this is less than $100, unfortunately, but I'm grateful for anything. So $141.81, and then we're gonna subtract 44.57. So that means the difference here
is actually going to be $97.24. So then we're going to take $65,440.50. I'm pretty sure that's a 7. And we're going to subtract $97.24. So the difference here is $65,343.33. Also, I'm pretty sure some of my numbers are a little off, not by a lot, maybe by like 100 or so with me writing it down. So I try to at least put in a screenshot each video or every other video of what the numbers actually look like for the remaining balance. So, and I'm gonna talk about the remaining balance. Okay, so the last paycheck or the last contribution payment towards the student loans, it actually hit on the 27th, and my husband and I decided to give it $2,000. Not too many days apart, so the interest payment wasn't horrible. It ended up being $35.59. And let's do 2,000 minus 35.59. That is $1,964.41. So $1,964.41. Okay, so when we take $65,343.33 and we subtract $1,964.41, we actually get $63,378. Okay, so that's $63,378.92. And I'm going to go ahead and put in a screenshot here so you guys can see what the actual balance is. On my end, I have that it's $63,245.44. So that's why I said, like, sometimes the numbers are a little off when I actually write it out, but I'm just putting it up here so you guys can see that this is not a joke. I'm not lying. I'm not making up numbers. Okay, so another thing I really wanted to do is just to talk about, like, just to see the difference with interest, okay? So really quickly, let's just talk about what my husband and I put towards my student loans without interest, right? So we put 1312.48, okay, plus 141.81, and then plus $2,000. So we put $3,454.29. I'm gonna wipe that off to the side. We put $3,454.29 towards my student loans, which is quite a bit of money considering also I need to go over my husband's contribution to his student loans. But we're gonna subtract that or take that out, and let's look at all the interest that has accrued that we had to pay for in between and with that amount. So it was $216.26, and then we have 44.57, and then we have plus 35.59. So that is $296.42 for interest alone, okay? So when we subtract this from 3,454.29, so we actually, the student loans only went down about $3,157.87. Now, I know you're probably thinking, oh, that's not that bad. It's just that $296 that went towards interest. I mean, this is also money you work for, so it's still going towards interest and paying back, and I hate that, okay? I hate that. Literally about $300. I'm grateful that we're not exactly at $300, and that's why my husband and I are focusing and devoting so much time paying down my student loans now, because with the save plan, we are not sure like when he's gonna have to start paying his student loans back. But while he doesn't have to, and there's no interest, we're just gonna focus on the loans that are getting a lot of interest. So let's go ahead and move along to his student loans. Oh, well, really quickly, let's go back to the top of my student loans and see the difference in where we were to where we are. So it's $107,683.18. Okay, and we're gonna subtract. I'm gonna give the number I have on the computer. That's gonna be $63,245.44. That's $44,437.74 worth of a difference. I'm so excited. That's a lot of money. And that was 22, 23, 24, literally September 2021 to September 2024. So it's been 3 years, and that's like I said, it's a lot of money. 8,000 of that came from my job, and I'm genuinely grateful. So yeah, progress is progress. Love to see it. Okay, So what we're gonna do now is close this out, and then we're gonna go into my husband's. So this was one of his loans. He has two, or had two. He really had three when we started off with this, combining our debt, trying to pay it off together. He had three. One of them, it was like $1,700 or $600. I paid off for like a birthday gift. And then this one has now been paid off, and now he only has Popeye. So yeah, I think I was wrong on these numbers. I don't know. But let's just get into the actual payment dates and the payments. So for my husband, and then I'm gonna tell you guys how much he has left, which is why I think this was wrong, because the math definitely, does it math? I don't know, it might math. Okay, so we went ahead and gave him a payment on the 17th. This is when when it hit, and this is around our first paycheck. So the payment we gave was $300. If you're wondering, like, why did you give $300 specifically? And this is about how much we usually give to his student loans. So, you know, we're okay with that, because again, there's no interest, but he still wants his student loans to go down. And this is something I was talking about earlier, about how, like, my husband and I are trying to figure it out, but basically we may or may not stop just for a hot second putting money towards his student loans, just so we can put it mostly towards mine, just because of the interest. One, so we're trying to pay down the interest and combat that. Two, we also have the new goal of trying to save money for a house. We need to do that. We don't save any money for our house, so we're gonna try to like split up some of the payments, and you're gonna see that when we go over the debt reduction calculator. Okay, so $300 is what it actually went out. Let me see if this number was correct. So we started off with $24,162.55. If it went down $300, because remember, there's no interest. Oh, that number was correct, because that's literally what his student loans are right now. $23,862.55. So the difference is definitely going to be $300. I mean, we can put that there. But yes, so if you guys got the save plan, you're not gaining any interest, I would take advantage of it, or I don't know, maybe even take a pause and put your money towards something else, because this is freaking exciting. I love this for him. So he's at $23,862.55. And then when you add mine, which this is going to be a different number from the debt reduction calculator, because I'm using an actual computer number. So it's $63,245.44. It says it's about $87,107, and I think it's going to be a little bit over. So let's get into the Vertex 42 of it all. Again, previously it said we had 90,000. So this is saying we cleared about about $3,000, right? And when we look on here, so we're not completely off. Oh, it's even more. I don't know. More of the story is we're at 87,000, and I'm okay with that. Okay, so these are the things that I did a little different with the debt reduction calculator. So usually I'll give three numbers. I'll give 3,500, 2,500, and 2,000 and 3,000, right? So 25, 3,000, and 35. Why do I give a range? Just to see, like, if we were to take a break, put more money towards our sinking fund, holidays, whatever the case, when will the end be, right? So if we're pretty aggressive and we're giving 3,500 in total, we would end November 2026. That middle number is April 2027, and then that lackadaisical number would be November 2027. But like I said, we're obtaining a newer goal, which is to save money for a down payment on a house, because yes, student loans, we do want them paid off. We don't want this much debt, and we're still going to contribute to our student loan debt, but we also need to save some money, because life is gonna life, and this is taking forever. So my husband and I was like, okay, $497, where did I get this from? So my student loan balance is $197. This is how much right now I owe in payments, okay? That's $197. So if we don't give my husband anything, and we just pay what we owe for mine, and then give $3,000 on top of that, we would be done paying off November 2026, and that's close to the $3,500. I mean, it's $3 off, right? That would be the latest, November 2026, and that would be my husband's. That we would, you know, granted, I'm sure the interest will be back by then, but this is where we are right now. Okay, now if from there we say, you know what, we want to take $1,000 and put it towards saving for a house, down payment, whatever the case may be, that would be $2,197, right? I'm trying to understand why I put $497. So 2,197 minus 2,497 is $300. So we're saying we'll pay $2,300, whatever. So let's say we're putting an extra 23. It says it right there. Why didn't I just look at it? 2,300 instead. We would get done in October 2027. So that would give us a whole nother year. Next year is 2025. So I don't know. It saddens me and it worries me. I'm not gonna lie, because I'm trying to get this over with, especially when we try to get a house and then it's another set of debt that's gonna be on us. But I understand why we're doing it this way. Another thing is, if you don't know, previously in one of my videos, I talked about how like I just got approved for some of my payments for public service loan forgiveness. And I know that is going to influence us a little bit. So you need, for public service loan forgiveness, you need 10 years, okay? That's 1 month, 1 qualifying payment. So you need 120 qualifying payments. I have almost 5 years. I thought it was 5. I have almost 5. It's 50 something payments. So if I give another, once 2025 hit, if I give another 5 years, they'll basically pay my student loans off. Would we do it? Possibly. It's just a lot of question marks, but it's a possibility. I'm happy that we have this option. The only thing about it is I have seen that some people have issues with this and they don't get their stuff paid off, and they were living on, they were depending on that for life, right? That's the only problem I have with that, and depending on it is just that it's fickle. It may or may not do what it needs to do. But nonetheless, and less than none, I'm happy for the option. And it does allow us, again, the option to slow down on our student loans and put money towards a house. This will delay us a little bit, but what's delaying of a year, especially if you want to buy a home and you want to live somewhere outside of an apartment when people don't even fix stuff when you put in a work order. Okay, I'm complaining. So this has been pretty good. We're down to 87,000 again. I'm super duper freaking excited about that. We've been making great progress. Again, we started off with like 121. Let's just say 121,000 even. I don't think it's been even. And then we subtract 87 and we'll do 100. That means total from 121, we've paid off $33,900. So when I did start off that 121,000, I wasn't at my starting balance with my student loans with the 107,000. So we're making great progress. I'm trying to see what next month is going to bring. I've already done the October budget, so we shall see if we actually stay afloat in what we put towards our student loan progress. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Comment below what you guys put towards your student loans for the month of September, if you did anything at all. But yeah, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in another video. Bye.